Wake up and check the oil. Walking from the daylight, searching for the black night. Somebody's gonna rust in pieces. He's a rebel, he's a rebel.
Somebody's gonna rust in pieces without a car. Somebody's gonna rust in pieces.
Happy Tuesday, children of the lawn.
Happy Tuesday, children of the lawn. There she is. I can't wait for the call. That's our... in fact, let me, Zoe will be on the show today, but Lenny, I'm hoping you're watching because I didn't want to hear everybody to hear you calling me when I was about to go start the show. Did you forget? Or, it's 6 o'clock there.
Oh, it's different time. Well, you know
no,
what?
No, I'm not doing
He's
it.
on Friday.
I'm not doing it. Not gonna. So yeah, Zoe will be here in a few minutes.
Zoe Carlton.
And I'm sure that's what Lenny was calling me about. And here we are. So, man, hot one today down here.
It's humid, very humid.
I can't even go out into my dressing room. It's too freaking hot out there. I get dressed in the outhouse.
Yeah. Fall has not hit here yet. It's about another month.
I tell you what, fall's going to hit here in the morning when we go out there and it's that hot and we fall over. It's rough out there, kids. I'm freaking sweating and everything. I was out there for 2 minutes.
The Emmys were pretty good last night, Sue. We watched them.
Yep, we did. We watched them.
Yep. And they were better than usual.
Yep, they were better than usual. The past couple of years, they've been, contaminated or whatever that is, right?
Right.
So,
I watch them to find out, the shows that are supposedly really good,
Yeah, so that we can watch 3 episodes and go, nah.
We don't give things enough of a chance. Sometimes.
You know what? I'll tell you what. You give Squid Games a chance, and I'll try.
I don't like that kind of stuff.
No, well, what,
I don't
entertainment?
want to see those poor starving people being tortured, like Hunger Games.
So, Lenny, let me ask you a question. You want to call me now? Len? Lenny?
Wait. I want to know who Dean McCullen is with the Who Bullseye.
Who D. McCullen with the Who Bullseye is?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Well, I
I'm thinking it's
can't
Yoda.
I don't think it's Yoda. Danny,
There's
maybe?
another McCullen.
Yeah, there's a whole family of them.
That are Who Nuts?
Yeah, how do you think it's a transmittable disease? How do you think Yoda got it? Got it from his brothers.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Oh yeah, I think isn't there a Dan McCullen?
Yeah.
That must be who it is.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Welcome.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Okay, I hope.
Man, we got a nice,
Oops, I gotta pull this down.
gift from Dr. Bruce and his wife
Yes,
Irene today.
yes, Dr. Bruce. Sending over the Chocolate Blanca.
The Diva white chocolate. It's pretty excellent.
And the most fun is going to be well, besides eating the white chocolate.
Which we've already done.
Man, we sampled it. We didn't locust it like we usually do.
Like Whitman samplers.
It's like we're trying to. Well, anyway. But the added bonus is, it came in the mail. So guess what? It was packed with dry ice. Oh, swimming pool, dry ice.
Tonight with the pool lights.
With the colored lights on.
Yeah, the purple.
Purple.
Because that's Halloween.
It doesn't really purple. You'd have to have red and blue. We don't have purple out there.
Yeah, we do. Our lights turn purple.
Dun 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 dun
They
dun.
turn purple. Yes, you did.
They do not turn purple. They turn from green to blue. Do they turn purple?
I always put the purple ones on.
Okay. I haven't looked at it in a very long time, and
Gonna look at it tonight.
I will look at it tonight I'll shoot some video for you so you can see tomorrow. It's dry ice in a swimming pool at night with lights. Well, anything goes Wednesday, right?
That's right.
Anything goes. That's what it means. It means,
Yes.
yeah.
Sue says Garner chick from Ozark won.
Oh,
Ruth.
yeah, Ruth,
I knew
man.
Ruth was gonna win.
We love her.
Yeah, she's great.
And did you see her in, what was the other one? Anna. I don't know, making of a fake celebrity or something. If you look up Julia Gardner, it's a true story about a socialite scam artist. Never heard of one of those before. It's a new concept.
Well, she managed to pull it off somewhat.
It's true. I mean, it's a true story, and
She went to jail for it.
that's also true.
Yeah.
I think you have to get me out of here. You have to get me out of here today. I need to be out. You understand me?
Sue says she's great. Yes, Anna. Yeah. She's a great actress.
I need to not be in here
And who's she
anymore.
married to? Oh, she's married to the singer of that band that sings Pumped Up Kicks.
Oh,
All the other kids with the pumped up kicks.
yeah,
better
yeah. But
run,
what is
better
that
run
band?
Faster than my bullet. I can't remember the name of them. I just remember it sounding like such a happy song. And
Yeah,
then
until you
listening
realize
to
it was
the
about
lyrics.
shooting up a school. But now, listen, everybody's got to write about something, right? Write about.
What you know? Foster
See,
the
I
people.
stopped
Foster the people.
I stopped myself from saying that. Sing about what you know. I hope they don't really know about that.
Okay, and her husband
Foster
is
the people.
Mark Foster,
Oh,
and he was the songwriter.
well, who's the people?
The other band members. Don't give them names in case you have to
Foster
change
the
them.
people. I'm intrigued by band names. It's one of the most difficult parts of being in a band. What are we going to call ourselves? It's and it's funny because every band, every pickup band I had, Endangered Species or The Late Show or Torque. Well, no, Torque. Well, yeah, even that's been used. Somebody tried to use that. What is it? Anyway, those bands obviously had no longevity, and those names are now taken. So
There's that.
there is that. It's lonely when you're the first one in the room. Very excited. Oh, very excited to go and answer the doorbell. Who is it?
It's Zoe.
Yes. Come in. Connecting to audio. You know the drill, kids. iPad 5. Space.
Hi.
iPad 5.
Yeah, that's my name. That's my DJ name, I think. iPad 5.
It's, you know what? Are you related to that guitar player, John 5?
Oh yeah, it's my cousin.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm
How
the
are you?
lesser known cousin iPad.
He's what? I'm sorry. Say again.
I'm the lesser known cousin iPad.
I see. Cousin iPad
No,
5.
she's
Yeah.
lesser
Uh,
known
A lesser
Yeah.
known cousin iPad 5.
of the iPad.
I got it.
With it.
Hey. So,
Must be in Antigua because you have the same kind
Yeah.
of lighting as Lenny.
yeah, you got that Lenny lighting.
Lenny lighting.
Only
Lenny lighting. I have got that Lenny lighting because it gets dark really early here.
Ah.
Now, I have to
Yeah.
jump right into this. I'm seeing the background, and can you see her background?
Yes.
Is
It's
that
outside.
painted?
No, unfortunately, that's a real background. I tried to find a really cool DJ background,
No.
but this is where I live.
No, I mean the finish. It looks like my. Whoops! There you go.
Whoa.
It
That's
looks
iPad
like
5 for
my
you.
friend had that done in his kitchen, and it looks just like it. It's incredible.
It's very clever. It's like a render, and then they put this this stuff in the middle. It makes it look like blocks. So it's not painted, but it's rendered with grout, making it look like blocks. Quite cool, actually.
Yeah, it looks just like my. Doesn't that look like John's
Yeah.
wall that he had done? Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, how he did it.
Yeah.
Pinching
So
my ideas.
Say
What's-
again.
yeah, I got a delay.
I said he's pinching my ideas, clearly.
Oh. No.
Yeah,
He did that
yeah,
about 24 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, and it was probably a lot harder then. I don't know. It was done. Who knows? Who knows? So you're in Antigua. I think that's
Yes, living the dream.
well, you are living the dream, right? I mean, it's beautiful there.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's very, very hot at the moment. Really, really hot. And there's not much wind, so it's a little bit kind of uncomfortable at the moment. But on the other hand, we've got the sea, never more than about 7 miles away. So it's a hard life.
But somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
Yeah, you've got to really. Otherwise, people will suffer.
And transplanted there from the UK, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we had one of those decision moments and thought, yeah, how about getting a life? So here we are.
Well, that's
Got fed up with the corporate world.
I know that must be an extreme change for you. Where were you from? What part of England?
Well, we were living in London,
Okay.
but we came from the West Country, like Dorset Way and Bath.
Yeah, but I believe me, I've been to the Roman ruins in Bath. I've been to it's yeah,
Went there.
we've I it was my second home in the Cotswolds. So
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful city.
yeah, beautiful, absolutely. So
When were you there?
I was there over a span of 15 years on and off. I played with John Entwistle, and he had a proper studio in the estate, so we used to go there to make records and be bad boys.
Oh, how bad?
Very.
The stuff
Ooh.
of which legends are made.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll have to find out more about this.
Well, you can call me back after the show. I'll tell you anything you want to know. I mean, that's what it says in the invitation, right? It says, please, no bad-mouthing people you've worked with. Save it for after the show. I'll call you back. So, we're just about happy.
Just curious.
Well, he was in the Who, and he was best friends with Keith Moon, so that might give you an idea.
Yeah, that of how crazy it could get.
Oh, crazy, yeah. So
I'm-
you
Say
you've
again?
played with some really cool. You've played with some really cool bands. Which one was the most fun?
Entwistle by far.
Yeah.
Robin Zander, great friend, Midwestern, and that's almost being Midwestern and New York is almost more different than being from England and New York. It's such a different way of life. So it's not that he wasn't fun, but John was like a little kid. Leslie West wasn't fun for anybody. And the AC/DC guys were fun, but I think it was later in their lives, so it wasn't that kind of fun that you're asking me about. And
I'm not judging.
no. Believe me, And I'm not confessing.
Well, John was the most fun.
Yeah, but John was no question the most fun. And I think the thing that made him the most fun was he was just out doing what he loved to do without any of the other glitz and glamour around. He was just playing music. And, it was, that's living the dream. So, you understand that.
Yeah. So you're bringing out the CD. Is it in October? Oxhumed? When's it due out?
Oh, Oxzoomed, yeah. Well, that's a great story. It's due out. The single drops on Friday, and I think October 16th.
No, 21st.
October 21st. Thank you. That's my producer and my lover of all time, wife, and not mother to any kids, Lori.
Okay, that one introduces you, Laurie. Hi.
I know. Hi. Well, that's my mother's birthday, October 21st. That's how I remember.
That,
Cool.
that is so strange. I mean, there have been so many bizarre coincidences with this record. They released they started taking pre-orders on the 9th, which was our 38th wedding anniversary. And now they're releasing it on your mother's birthday. In this whole process, there's been a whole I'm not going all crazy on you, but there's been a whole series of just odd coincidences, and just 13 tracks on the album. That just turned out what it was. 13 was a great number for us as friends. It was always 13. So
Yeah.
But
So if you've got the first track dropping on Friday, is there anywhere I can pick it up so I can play it on my show on Saturday?
I'm sure I can work that out.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool for me too. Believe me, it's a good track too. I mean, it's like that. You have to, if you're playing with the arguably the best rock and roll bassist of all time.
That's Lenny, isn't it? Not Lenny.
No, it's not
them.
Lenny.
He is
He's
one
one
of
of them, right? But you record songs where there's a bass part and a bass solo at the same time. It gets very interesting.
That sounds good. I look forward to it.
I will reach out to those guys. It's a great label called Deco Entertainment, and they're working with Warner Brothers, and there's cool stuff. I can hook you up.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, I'd love to play that for you and talk about it on Saturday.
That would be awesome. I would really,
Now, can people in the States hear your show?
Yeah. How do they hear your show here?
Yeah, Gabrielle and Lenny know how to hear it all around. I've got people in England listen to it, people in the US. I can't do Facebook on Saturdays for the same reason as Angus was talking about not playing music. So, but you can pick it up on various apps. Yeah, but I've given Lenny this Saturday off.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll watch.
Yeah, oh, cool. That would be cool. Yeah, he's
absolutely.
No, I was just going to say that Lenny is my sidekick. So during this week, I do serious shows, kind of serious, so talking about issues, And then Saturday, it's just pure fun. Nobody is allowed to mention current affairs or politics. And Lenny is my sidekick. Now, if we were a TV show, those TV shows where you're blowing things up and explosions are happening, there's always somebody who says, hey, that was a pretty explosive episode. That would be Lenny, the plucky comic relief. That's what you are, Lenny.
He is. He has been that for us as well. Lenny's a blast.
He is.
Oh, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love it when he's on my show.
I'm distracted by my security cameras. There's somebody in my driveway that I don't recognize. So, but they'll go away as soon as the laser.
It's only a gangster, a murderer, whatever. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. No. Well, whatever.
Let's hope not. There was just a home invasion.
Yeah. It's getting crazy here in Florida. They pulled into the wrong driveway. I watch the news and it's like people are making it up. It's like horrible thing, more horrible thing, worse thing. It's
not bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
Do gloom or
Yeah, we don't
politics
do
either.
gloom, so I'm sure Lenny, man, I'm gonna have to listen to that for sure because he's a funny dude and I love Lenny. How did that happen, by the way? Let's just figure that one out.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, Lenny and Gabrielle are very, very, very close friends of ours. They're our best friends in Antigua and Barbuda. And of course, we discovered that he was with the Good Rats. And he and I kept arguing about rock. We had this kind of battle of 1970s rock, 21st century rock, 90s rock. And I said, okay, then, why don't you come on my show and we'll have a battle of the bands? And we had an absolute blast. And it just kind of, he kept coming on. So he comes on a regular basis and we have themes. So we had a battle of the bands. One day we had the best drummer. Who's the best drummer? And when we had a kind of, okay, you're going to play 70s, I'm going to choose 21st century, see what we can come up with. And it's just a blast when Lenny's on. So, and it just kind of grew from there.
It's got to be especially fun, because you have a format and there's like when you get in the groove with Lenny, because he comes on our Free for All Fridays, which now you're a member of the family, so please come in there.
Cool.
We have a blast, and I can tell you this from the bottom of my heart: your signal is much better than Lenny's.
Lenny, you'll have to come over here, Lenny. You'll have to come over here. But of course, I mean, Lenny is a touch older than I am, and I'd never heard of the Good Rats. And I started listening to the Good Rats, and I thought, wow, they are so good. They've got some really great songs. So I got really into the rat groups.
Yeah, I had a rat group too. Yeah, there's a few of them around. I had a rat group.
Lenny has even presented me with a big black rat.
Oh.
Now, has he ever told you the story about when they went and played in England, and they threw out rats? They were throwing out black rats, and
The rubber rats,
and the punchers were a little upset, and they started throwing them back. I said, Lenny, have you ever heard of the plague? What do you think? You don't throw rats out there. They thought you were goofing on them. So.
Okay, one of our viewers that's in Detroit wants to know if she can hear your show on Sirius XM.
We're gonna post. We're gonna post all the ways to get to Zoe's show.
We'll let you guys know how to.
Especially since she's going to be premiering some very cool music this week.
I'm going to be premiering on Saturday. That is so cool.
There's Lenny on the show.
Yeah, he's usually on Saturdays, but he's not going to be on this Saturday.
Yeah, he's having a week off, and then I'm having a couple of weeks off because we're going to England for a couple of weeks. So Lenny won't be back on for about 3 weeks, I'm afraid.
Well,
I'll get him to tell you when he's coming back on.
We'll see him every Friday because he's always here. So, and it's fun. Let me tell you what, Fridays gets. I'm sure you would fit right in. I mean, it would be perfect because it's.
I look forward to it.
Oh yeah, please just come in. I won't go through chapter and verse. It's really fun. We have guys coming in that are driving to gigs and they have their phone in their hand. It's like, that's safe. Don't do this at home. And, we had a couple of guys call in from Billy Joel's guys at the Garden backstage before they were. It's fun, man. You never know where it's going to go. It's very cool.
That sounds really good. That does sound really good. Yeah, I know Lenny talks about it sometimes, but I have to say I shock Lenny a little bit because one of the things I like doing on my show is for the last half hour, I pick up new releases, ones that came out yesterday or the day before, and I'm not above saying, that's a load of rubbish. I'm not playing that one. And then he says, but you cut the song off. I said, well, it was rubbish. And nobody's paying me to play it. But Lenny was a little bit kind of, I'm not going to have rubbish on my show. If it's rubbish, it gets turned off.
And how do you find the music? I'm interested to know, how do you find the music? Do people send it to you? Do you look for it?
I look for it. I check it out. There's stuff I love. We've got a couple of musicians in Antigua and Barbuda. We've got some very famous musicians that you'll know. We've got Pete Townsend comes here and Eric Clapton. Mm-hmm. But we've also got a guy that you probably don't know called Steve Martin. And he's written not the comedian.
No, I know who you're talking about.
You know him. He is such a cool dude. And he will send me songs as well. And of course, we've got some Antiguan bands.
Towns in
Well-
the
So
No. No.
otherwise, I'll pinch them off Google.
No. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, that's very interesting to me because, finding, I came up prior to and during the British invasion times, and music it didn't have color, there were barely pictures on the album covers, and I'm sure this is an old story. And it really has nothing to do with the medium. It has to do with the accessibility. You can see people, oh, well, they didn't pick that hair out of their nose. It's like, what? Do I really want to see all this? It's so sensory overload that it's hard for me as a musician, not as a fan, but as a musician, to get next to the music because there's so much else going on. It's so I want, it's interesting that you find, I guess they said, I heard some crazy statistic that they release like 100,000 records a week or some crazy thing like that.
Wow.
And I'm probably way over the top, but it's
Probably
amazing.
not.
Well,
Yeah, maybe
because
not.
of
And-
Spotify. And
Yeah,
all that.
well, because anybody you can make you can make a record in your bedroom now.
Right.
I mean, it's
That's how Billie Eilish.
yeah,
did it.
Billie Eilish, and Phineas. Those are all bedroom. Nobody.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And likewise, we can broadcast from home. I have some voiceover friends here that do voiceovers for CNN or this or that or the other, and they're just hanging out in Florida. Oh, got to go do a bump, and then they go in. Oh, not that kind of bump.
That's something I want to do, actually. That is something I'd like to do, Steve. Like to find out how to do that. Do voiceovers.
Ah.
Well, I can.
I want a British voice.
Gotta get a Neumann.
Well, can you do a British voice?
I can try.
But I'm.
I can try awfully hard to do a British voice,
Now, I was told that my English accent sounds like a tour of the country.
John told you that.
Give me an example.
Well, right, it's like, some of it's sort of from up north, right, and then,
Laughing at
Yeah, go down south now. How about London?
oh, well,
River.
the posh accent, that
you do Brian Johnson.
right. Oh, right, then we can go way up north to,
Manchester.
Scotland.
Newcastle.
How about Scotland?
Yeah, it's
Brian
good.
Can you do Scotland?
Say?
Can you do Scotland?
Scotland.
Well,
Edinburgh?
it's a little tough to do Scotland right after you've done Manchester, because I
Yes.
did
Okay,
muddle
that's
up.
a mixture, that one. That's a bit of
Yeah.
a mungle, that one.
Yeah, the tough one for me is Ireland. Can you do
Ireland. Irish is very, very difficult,
Oh,
Really. Ireland.
that's
That was good.
yeah, that was great.
Accent. Give me an example of your Irish accent.
Oh Lord.
Okay, boyo.
Was that meant to be Irish or Welsh?
No, it was. I'm glad that I have a choice.
Yeah, well, you could. I think that was more Welsh than Irish.
I was listening. I'll tell you what. I'm a huge Peaky Blinders
We
fan.
love Peaky
And
Blinders.
the guy,
Just going to tell you, Irish accent in Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
that guy was so good.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill, amazing. Oh
yeah.
God, and it just. I tried to get it, but
Well,
it's,
he's not
it's
really
His is a brilliant accent because he talks quite well, quite straightforward, quite the Queen's English. And that's one thing. Lenny got us into watching Peaky Blinders. And every time we watch it, I say, gosh, his accent's incredible.
Yeah.
incredible. And what about right, Tommy?
Parker.
Terrible.
And but my favorite, oh God,
Solomon.
Solomon, man, oh, that's fucking Tommy, what's right? It's just
That's about as comprehensible as it gets as well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you're good at it.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
We've watched that show twice.
yeah. He's fucking
Well, we're
dangerous.
just
isn't he?
watching it. I keep hoping that I'm going to find somebody nice in it.
Oh, there's nice
There isn't anybody. They're all just horrible.
They're horrible, and they're horrible. They're
They
horrible.
are pretty much
But it's
horrible.
it's an amazing show. I mean, we watched it twice.
Yeah.
There is so much that you miss, and there is so much, and well, like having spent so much time abroad, it was really wild for me to think of it in those terms. I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan too.
Yeah.
But of course, darling, you should be watching Downton Abbey, and of course listening to Lady Bracknell, whose name I can't remember.
Who's it?
Lady.
Violet?
Are we talking about Violet?
Yes, that's the lady. I call her Lady Bracknell because I can't remember her name.
Right,
That's Oscar Wilde.
Oh God, why can't I think of her name?
I don't
And
Lady Maggie Smith. Anyway.
they're all great. Even the dog is great. I mean,
The dog's got it nailed. He's got the accent nailed. The dog.
it's perfect. It's and I don't know whether you know it or not, but he's not English. The dog. That's not. He's from Latin.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Maggie Smith.
Oh,
Maggie Smith.
really impressed then because he has got the accent. You wouldn't think he wasn't English.
No, I know.
Wow.
The woof. It's amazing when he barks.
That's
It's like, wow. He's really not English.
Well,
That
I've
dog?
got to watch that again and listen to that. Very impressive.
Yeah,
That's Lady
and
Mary.
I love Lady Mary. She's like my favorite. I think she's just so over the top.
But she's not an awfully nice person in the beginning, is she?
No,
She's rather horrid to her sister.
she's hard. Yes. She is.
Oh yeah, she
I like
certainly
Sybil.
is. Yeah, Sybil was great.
Sybil, yeah. Oh yes, that was so sad.
Yeah.
Well,
So sad. She was the nicest.
Yeah. She was.
so well, I mean, not to interrupt our flow of entertainment, but
Blue.
but so when you broadcast down there, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's an online broadcast, but I thought I saw you using an RE20. Are you in a regular studio or
In a regular studio, yeah. And we're radio is a big thing in Antigua. Radio is really big, so it's 97.1 FM, and people rely on radio for all sorts of things. So it's really, really popular. The studio's good. It's falling apart a bit. Needs some investment. But we did have one day when I had the microphone up and I was reading the news. And as I was sitting here reading the news, this was serious. The microphone slipped. So I had to sort of move with the microphone as the microphone went down. So that was challenging.
Well, it sounds like a fun show.
That was just the news.
That was just the news. How long is the show?
Yeah. How long do you broadcast?
Well, in the mornings, it is the serious show. I read out the news and then I look at some of the issues that are affecting Antigua and Barbuda. So today it was tourism. Last week it was sexual abuse, all sorts of things. So I'm kind of serious-ish, and I'll try and make one of those shows upbeat. And Saturday is when everything is banned. No politics. If I have a politicians as guests, they're only allowed to talk about music.
Well,
And actually, they love it when they do that because I had the Commissioner of Police on, and he said, "Zoe, I'm loving this. I know that you're not going to ask me anything about work. You're just going to ask me about music." And that's really good fun. So it's just a 2-hour show. I did have 3 hours, but they wanted a political program on there, so I lost an hour. Really annoying to politics.
It's amazing that that's the medium down there. That's and it makes sense. Of course it does, because it's not like the satellite dish center of the universe. So to use some sort of radio communication makes all the sense in the world. And I wanted to ask you something. I totally forgot what it was.
This happens a lot.
Yeah, it'll come back to him eventually. Probably about 3 a.m.
Well, yeah, right. No,
Well, the people get their news from you, though.
Yeah, so you're delivering the news. I mean, oh, that's what it was. I wanted to ask you this because you mentioned current events, and I don't want to get, bleh,
No.
but
I don't
first
get
of all, respect. You know, the Queen is dead. Long live the King.
Yes,
And
respect.
you know,
Thank you. Yeah, that is sad.
but
Yeah.
I terribly sad. I mean, you know, because
But I
you
mean,
know,
she
I
was
didn't hang much
96.
with the Queen, but I certainly knew, you know, I spent enough time there, and I visited the palace from the outside
It's not like she
till they
was.
till they dragged me away.
It's not like she was ill and suffering for years.
No, it's
I
not
mean,
like that.
she
No,
had
but
No,
a
I mean, we
life.
thankfully. But last Tuesday, we thought, you know, people, they kept saying about how she was having health problems. But of course, Tuesday, she was welcoming the new prime minister, no comment. And she kind of looked elderly and frail, but healthy. And then it just kind of, what happened? What happened?
Abington came along and said, "Let's go."
She is.
Yeah,
now.
I think it might have been she, but what an incredible woman. What an
I
incredible
mean,
woman.
mind-boggling. I have, you know, and the reason that you know, that I'm touched by it at all is because I came to understand it. You know, I spent a lot of time there and understood a lot of things, and you know, it's. I think that it's such difficult. What she did was so incredibly difficult and so
Yeah.
Spartan, and I really feel bad for Charles, King Charles, because man, how do you follow the Beatles? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I
I've
mean,
never heard the Queen compared to the Beatles before.
oh well, yeah.
I think
Well,
that's pretty good, actually. I think that's pretty good.
Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl. She
Yeah,
changes
I
from
love
day to
that song.
day.
That's so good. I played that last week.
It's great, great.
But
I've never heard that.
I think King Charles will do well. I think he'll do well.
I really hope so. I hope so because he seems to have a human agenda, and he always has. And I think, you know,
Yeah.
without getting too far into it, but the real question that I had, and it's the only serious question of the show, is I understand that Antigua and Barbuda, now that the Queen has passed, are thinking about backing away. Is that?
Oh, the Prime Minister, bless him, bless him. I was a bit disappointed in him because he didn't give it long enough. He can't make the decision. He can't make that decision. He can say we'll have a referendum, but he can't decide for the people. And I think he could have left it until at least she was buried.
Right.
We've got an election next year, and I think it's become a little bit of a political issue. I talked to a lot of people, Antiguans, and I haven't yet met many who are particularly keen on it. They say, well, okay, you know, she doesn't play much of a role, but it gives us that cachet around the world as part of the monarchy. And but Mr. Brown, that's what he wants to do, and we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be as cut as dried as he seems to think.
It's
And people
well,
just don't really care.
you know, there's so many things going on. You know, I mean, you know, it's there's enough turmoil in the world. Let's all just, you know, exhale for a minute, and rather than, you know, start raising and lowering flags, let's reflect on 70 years of amazing devotion. I've never heard of anything quite like that.
Devotion. One of the best descriptions was by James Corden. I'm trying to watch. He said it was an incredible life, never to be repeated, something like that. And it was just he summed up what she'd given the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's face it, the world, not just England. So sad. It made me cry.
oh, no crying, but I hear the hounds barking. Is there animals about?
You notice the accent there?
I did.
I've got to rub. Yeah, I've got to rub that Antiguan accent off for it. It's a little bit rough. That was a little bit of dialect there.
I was going to say local dog. Is he a local?
Yeah. She's quite hard to understand, but she was a foster. We were asked, Gabrielle, this is Gabrielle's fault, to look after her for a few weeks. And we said, yeah, only for a
That's how
few
it
weeks.
starts.
Yeah, and she was meant to be going to Canada for a home. And then she looked at me one day and she said in broad Antiguan, woof, 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 woof. And I thought, she's dead right. She's absolutely right. So she's still here. It's far too cold. in
That's
Canada.
that's a beautiful song. I think that's a beautiful story, and I think so.
I think she was
So
right.
she's in the jungle. She's in the jungle. Where?
Does she live in the jungle?
Not exactly the jungle. We don't have jungle here, Steve. We don't have jungle here. Hold on a second.
Oh.
This. Oh, there you go, hand.
Oh.
I see a doggy, Remy.
I see a doggy. Do you want to sing for
Oh,
that
how
doggy?
cute. What is her
I was
name?
I was trying to segue.
Wait,
in,
what's her name?
what's her name?
Topsy.
Topsy. We had a friend who had a dog.
My
named
guitar
Topsy.
player's dog was Topsy.
Well, his girlfriend.
Topsy.
Yes.
Well, we have
Topsy.
we
Yeah,
have
Topsy.
we have Remy, and
And he sings.
And he sings. So I was trying to
Song
segue
about
into
the
the jungle. He's what you know? In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle. The
Okay, thank you. Stick with the drumming, Steve.
Wait, whoa, whoa,
With the
whoa.
drumming.
Do what? I'm sorry.
Stick with your drum.
Oh,
Stick with the drum.
well, I figure he's going to take
sings
off.
very good.
But it's nice that you've got an accompaniment.
Well, okay. I happily, believe me, point well taken and observed. But so should I tell you? I guess I shouldn't tell you that I'm the one singing on the single, then, right?
Oh, really?
But,
Well, I was thinking, perhaps you could send me a bit of meatloaf or something to play instead.
yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm sure I can figure something out. No, we.
It's all right, Steve. I know you've got a good voice.
I don't think you know that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? It's on there, and it is what it is. I did. It was funny because when I first came down here to Florida, many years ago, I
18 years ago.
was it 18 years? Holy shit! We must be getting old. No, I was a guest on a radio show, K-Rock affiliate down here, Beasley Broadcasting, and we had so much fun that they said, well, come on back and, be the guest host or whatever it is for the rest of the week. I was there for almost a year, and it was so ridiculous and so much fun, and it was one of those Mad Hatter kind of shows. I mean, they played music, but I think the comedy was the main focus. I don't know if you ever heard of Liz Wilde, but she was the lead, and it was so much fun. And what a great medium. I mean, I've done enough.
Kind of a shock jock thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Liz was.
Great voice. But yeah, it was fun. So I can imagine. I can't wait to see you guys on one of these Saturdays. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Lenny's a blast. He suddenly started. He said, "Oh, can I tell a joke?" And I thought, no, not one of your jokes, Lenny. Not one of your jokes. So I let him tell a joke every week now, and I have to edit them. I have to vet them before. So when we're in the car, he says, "Can I use this joke?" No. Next one. What about this one? Yeah, we'll edit it a little bit. But he's got some good jokes. He tells a cool joke.
He comes. I'll tell you what. I have never failed to laugh at one of his jokes. I mean, he comes in. Because when things, you know how it is, especially when you're doing live stuff. If it goes a bit flat, it's always good to go to the jokes. And Lenny, you can always rely on Lenny. He's got, he's got a little book there, I think, or something like that. And
You get Lenny and my boyfriend together, and they try and outdo each other in jokes. And so Gabrielle and I are sitting there going, "Okay, yeah, I've heard that one before. Okay, yeah, we've done that one." But they try and have the battle of the jokes.
I'm wondering if you need a good bass player joke for the next time you guys are together.
For Lenny?
Oh, yes, please. One I can tell.
One that he
Don't tell it now. Send it to
tell
me
it.
so I can surprise Lenny.
All right. Okay. Oh, right. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah, good. Good one, Steve. Yeah,
Yeah,
it.
we've got good. No, I'm going to hook you up, so there's no question.
Excellent.
So you said from corporate. What was corporate? And I'm saying, by the way, sorry, but what was?
Yeah, well, you bring these things back to me. You bring them back. I worked for the Ministry of Defence in England. Then I worked for a big corporate company, and then I set up my own company. I'm for the first time in my life in Antigua, I'm doing a job I enjoy. I got fed up with kind of sharp suits, stilettos. Yes, absolutely off. Yes, absolutely. Trying to look awake in meetings, trying to agree with things I didn't, and I thought, I've had enough of this. So here we are.
Yeah, no.
That's all I'll say.
Radio.
Corporate world is a man.
But you just don't wake up and say, "Hey, I'm going to be a DJ." I mean, where did those chops come from?
Yeah.
Well, I was actually told by somebody in the BBC in England once, which is too long a story, I'll cut it short, that I'd make a good radio host. And I thought, yeah, that would be cool fun. That would be cool fun. And we got to Antigua, and there was a tiny radio station just at this end of the island, but it was really popular. And I wandered in one day and said, have you thought of doing a program about this? And they said, hey, do you want to have a go? So I did it, and they offered me a job. And then I got headhunted by the other end of the island, which I'm now on ZDK, which is the oldest privately owned radio station in Antigua.
Wow.
So it's just good fun. Radio here can be quite political. You've got the original radio station is government one. Then the opposition set up a radio station. Then ZDK, no, they were the second one. So ZDK was in there somewhere, and they all have political affiliations. But ZDK is trying to get rid of that. And I certainly don't. So I'll talk to each of them equally.
Yeah.
So,
but that's great. That, you have to. I know you got to have timing. You have to. I mean, it's not just something that you must obviously have that gift. You know what I mean? That thing that you need to have in order to pull it off, especially radio.
Well, what I really my ambition from when all my life was that I wanted to be an actor. That's all I wanted to do. And I wanted to go to Cambridge so that I could join the Footlights. And then the year before I was due, I had a car accident, and that just screwed everything up. So I'm doing my number 2 ambition by being a radio DJ. No, number 2 is good.
Listen, just as a side note, have you seen that new Elvis Presley movie?
I haven't. I'm not a huge Elvis fan. Is that blasphemy?
It's the story. It really isn't. It really has nothing to do with Elvis. The reason I say it is because the moral of the story is be careful what you wish for. So that's to make you feel better about your acting career.
I'd probably be a drug addict in rehab or something.
Yeah, instead of acting. I tried acting. I saw an ad in the Village Voice, and actors wanted. Okay. I go down. The guy hands me the limousine scene from On the Waterfront. And he says,
wow! Yeah.
I mean, I had to not do Brando. Charlie. You
knew it by heart.
I knew it by heart. So I'm barely reading this. He hands me the sides, and so. He said, well, this is great. I'm going to get you a part right away. And I said, okay, that's great. And surely a week later, he gets me, an extra part on Law and Order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 13 and a half hours, freezing frickin' minus whatever, for $52.80. In Manhattan.
Well, at least you got paid.
Yeah, and never did it again.
That was, and the funniest thing was they give you all this stuff. I had to play 2 parts. I was a criminal and a reporter, so I had to pull my,
That could be one actually.
Right, exactly. But the last scene was the kid comes out of the court, and all the reporters are supposed to rush up and try to get his story right. And they tell everybody, okay, now don't look into the camera. Don't look in. So I run right at the camera and look right in the thing. And the last scene in the whole thing is my face coming up the steps. It's like, and I said, that's enough for me. That's enough.
Yeah. As soon as they tell you not to do something, you're going to do it.
That's exactly right.
Don't look at the camera.
Exactly
you're
right.
You're going to look straight at it.
That's the truth. So one more quick question, because I'm sure Angus told you about the questions.
He said that you might ask me some. questions.
Well, just what I did when I decided to do the show, I really didn't want it to be like an interview type of thing. I really wanted it to be
That'd be boring.
like, us talking in a green room somewhere or it's the same conversation. And I thought that was going to be the most fun and the most revealing, for
Yeah.
both people that watch every day. And, and anyway, and so I figured, well, how am I going to wrap it up? I got to wrap it up. And I used to watch the Actors Studio, and he had those questions, your favorite curse word and all that whole
Oh
thing.
yeah.
You wrapped up the show. Yeah.
So I said, oh, well, I'm going to write my own questions, right? I'll have my questions.
Yeah.
So what I do for people of your ilk is I modify the questions a little bit.
Let me think about that. Is that a good ilk?
A very good ilk.
Oh, that's okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic ilk. Just
Good. I'm glad I'm a good ilk.
bloody brilliant ilk. There's no question. Okay.
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah. Bloody brilliant. I guess that's like a contradiction.
Bloody brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to come back. I'm coming down. You ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I don't know, and it doesn't matter if in the corporate world you traveled, whether it was the UK or internationally or whatever, it's still the road. It's considered the road. And the first question is your favorite place to eat on the road. When you know you're going there, it's like, I can't wait to go to Bobo's Steakhouse. So
I'll tell you one of my favorite places to eat. It's actually in London. It's called Archipelago, and it's kind of a South African place where you can get alligator or locusts or koala or that sort of thing, and that's a fun place to eat. It's a little bit weird. Archipelago. It's a little bit weird, and at the end of the meal, they will say, "Would you like to see the doctor?" And you think, "Yeah." So the waitress comes out with a stethoscope and a tray of drinks, and they are weird drinks. And in one of these drinks, there is a python in the bottle of liquor, and that python's been there for years, and the liquor never goes below it. And they say, "Would you like a drink?" I am a wimp, and I said, "No, thank you." But yeah, so that is really cool, and you can have liquor with locusts and whatever you fancy, that if you've got the courage. And my friend, big Queen fan, my friend had a chocolate covered scorpion, but it was a scorpion covered in chocolate.
Oh, well, and that was dessert, I'm guessing.
Oh,
Yeah, and he looked at it for about 10 minutes before he ate it. It even had the little curly bit on the end.
Wow,
So that Archipelago in London, if you want something weird.
that's a good one. We'll add it to the we will add it to the book. That's a good one, Archipelago. See, now one of my favorite places in the world is down in Stowe. It's an Indian, a curry place called the Prince of India on Sheep Street, and it is just I'm not going there anymore because I don't have a reason to go there anymore. But when I would go there, it would just light my head up. I can't wait to get blah blah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, when you go to a restaurant like that, that is so good.
Yeah, yeah. But Archipelago, I like that, and we're going to add that to the list. So now, these next two questions are.
Oh, yeah.
These next two questions are musician questions, but I'm altering them slightly.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite song to play on your show?
That is a tough one because there's lots of songs I like to play. I like Meatloaf, I like Queen. I think one of my favorites, actually, that I do love playing a lot is Bastille.
Oh, Bastille.
Bastille, it's their song Pompeii.
I know that song.
Love that one. At the moment, that's a tough question, but I do play that one over and over again. I really like that one.
What the question was, was based on musicians. It was, what's your favorite song to play live, right? Because some guys, and then conversely, what's your least favorite song to play live? But since you don't have a playlist, you don't have or do you get a playlist from do you have a program director, or it's just?
No, it's me. I can do whatever I want to. It's great.
Okay, so then now I know how to modify the
song I hate. Song I hate?
Well, a song that you would never consider playing on your show ever.
Sailing. Rod Stewart.
Ah,
Oh, well,
I get that.
I get that too. I have Rod Stewart stories, but also for the phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, hate it.
Yeah.
Don't like it, won't play it. People request it, I suggest they can request an alternative.
Oh,
Christopher Cross or something, or Christopher Sailing, not Rod Stewart.
oh, I love Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, yeah.
You have a request line. People call up and request songs.
Okay,
They
yeah.
don't call. I get people, I say to people, you can WhatsApp me or send me them in advance. And I've got people who request every single week. Some of them are, they're always great choices, of course they are. But some of them are quite different, can be quite different from the music I'd normally play. But yeah, but people can do that. I don't encourage people to call in because it just makes things tricky. It's not long enough.
All right, well then we won't call in and request it.
Yeah, but there's I'm sure
Always
there's an
welcome to
email or
call
something.
in. I get people call in my mobile. I give them my mobile number to WhatsApp because it's much easier for me to pick up and
Yeah,
look at it while I'm still talking.
that's how Lenny calls here.
Yeah, that's how
WhatsApp.
Lenny called. Yeah, with WhatsApp or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a proper terrestrial radio station. It's not just.
It is, yeah.
That's awesome.
The DK radio.
What are the call letters?
Yeah. What are the call letters?
CDK,
CDK.
ZDK, 97.1 FM.
Oh,
Z.
CDK. 97.1.
0.1 FM.
Got it.
0.1 FM. That's
All right.
that's great.
You can't say, you've got to say it properly though. You've got to say ZDK, Liberty Radio, 97.1 FM.
Oh, they
So
say
you've got to say it like that, otherwise it's not right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Well, we
yeah.
know in England they say Z. I didn't know in Antigua
Yeah.
they said Z, but it would
Well, no,
make
but
sense
it's
now
well,
because
she's English, so no matter where she is, that's what she
it's
says.
Z, right?
She says.
But actually in Antigua, we did that, when actually in Antigua, ZDK is Z. They don't call it, they use Z sometimes, but it's ZDK radio. It's never ZDK radio. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You've got to learn to speak English.
We've learned that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We know all about Z.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, know
We
Zed.
know about Zed.
That's
Yeah.
right, darling.
Yeah, and yeah. That's I picked up quite a few interesting.
Yeah, one of them
Little
is
set.
what John's son says, darling. All the time.
Oh yeah,
Yes, that's right, darling.
Well, but see, his son has a posh accent.
Yeah.
He went away to school and did he did the John's from Chiswick, so he's got that that thing. But Chris, his son, is he's quite proper darling, and he's very well spoken, and he's probably killing himself if he's wrong.
You can slip a little bit of Cockney in there, Steve.
Yeah, I told you it's a tour.
Oh, that was
It's a tour. You're taking the
yeah.
tour. You're taking the
To
tour.
stretch your vowels. You have to stretch your vowels.
Stretch
Your vowels.
vowels.
Vowels. And it's never bath, it's always bath.
Oh,
Bath.
bath. Yes.
Bath. That's it. No, yes.
Right.
And the house.
there.
The house.
This is great. Hey, are you hearing this, pal? I'm getting a lesson.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Right. Mom used to say tomato.
Absolutely bath.
Tomato.
Right.
And scone. Scone.
Oh, man.
With the
Yeah,
strawberry
and
jam and
spotted
triple
dick.
cream.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah, spotted dick. Yes, that's what you have at school. Spotted dick school food.
Okay, we're
Yeah, well,
I
listen,
can
we
start
we
it.
can't go through fringe and bangs and all that. We could we could cover it up, but it's
It's very, very confusing. I wish you'd get it right.
yeah, it's it's like a whole
The
nother.
one that always throws me is chips. The one that
Chips
always
and
throws me.
crisps.
yeah.
Yeah, Lenny said, you're going to get some chips. What? Chips? No. Why chips? He means crisps.
Yes.
Crisp, yeah.
I got to teach Lenny a bit of English actually. It's very confusing.
And
Yes.
biscuits are cookies.
Yeah,
for you
biscuits.
guys.
It's like come on.
Biscuits.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
your
that's-
biscuits are scones.
Well,
Yes,
kind of,
yeah, more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Confusing.
nuts. And McVitie's, right? The
Oh
digest.
yeah.
That was yeah, that was his favorite. But and I forgot to include.
Next
Anyway,
question.
okay. What is the? Where am I? If okay,
Yeah, you asked her what she wouldn't want to play.
right,
and
right.
it
So
was
so we're
Sailing
back
by
to if
Rod
you could
Stewart.
play any. So the musician version of this question is if you could play any other instrument other than the one you play, what would it be? But for you, and out of all of your dream jobs, acting cannot be one of them. If you
Right.
couldn't
Oh,
be
Lord.
a DJ anymore, what would your dream job be?
An artist.
And oh, you're in the right place.
Oh,
for
which
that.
reminds me, I've got a bone to pick with you, actually, Steve.
Yes.
Yes, having said art, I suddenly thought, yes, you do all this great art, you make all these great shirts for men.
Well,
Where's the shirt?
I am working on a ladies' line. There's this little thing that kind of screwed things up for me. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's called COVID-19. I had
Never heard of it.
I had a deal. Well, they don't have it down there. That's why we don't have it in Florida either. But I had a deal with Saks at
Saks Fifth Avenue.
Saks Fifth Avenue at the flagship store in Manhattan, and they said, and I'm thinking we're going to get it in there for the holidays of 2019, right? So I'm designing the women's line, and I believe I'll send you pictures, and I said, well, are we going to be able to get it in there for the holidays? She said, oh, no, we're going to do fall of 2020. I said, when is that? She said, it's June of next year. So you can guess what happened to that.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still going ahead, is it?
Yeah.
I felt quite hard done by. I thought, well, where's my shirt? They're really cool shirts. Why is it just men?
He's
So
got-
okay, I forgive you.
Wait
He's
till
got
you.
some
Oh, believe
cool
me, I've got
women's
I have such a beautiful women's line and bathing suits and
Yeah.
and it's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'll tell you what, maybe you'd like one just to kind of wear as beach loungewear.
That would be lovely. I very much would, please, Steve. Yes, I can model it for you and show it on the radio, Facebook Live, and say today Zoe is wearing the Steve Luongo special.
There you go.
Okay.
I listen. I have friends, girlfriends that have had them altered. So I mean, I'm not suggesting that because you would probably do better with the loose and flowy thing. But yeah, I was dying to do a ladies line. I did a shirt dress. I did a bunch of stuff, and like I said, bathing suits. But there we go. So
I love the idea of bathing suits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll send you pictures.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures.
Yeah, I'd love to see them.
Does Angus have all the contact details for you, cell and all that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he does.
And so I'll get you mine, and let's have some fun with this. You know? Why
That
not?
sounds cool.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Never wear one.
Yeah. What's that? What?
Lenny would never wear one of your shirts.
No, then he can. He'd be too easy to spot in the woods.
He would. That would be quite bright.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll I'll get you something. It would be fun. It would be.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
No, that's my pleasure.
I look
Yeah,
forward
it
to
really
seeing your
is.
ladies' line.
Well, you're gonna, believe me, you'll see. Like I said, when we'll do the details, and I'll send you the pictures from the ladies' line. There's nothing I would love better than to do a ladies' line, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So, I'm going to call the label tomorrow. I'm going to ask those guys if I can send you the track, which I'm sure they will say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and I will play it on Saturday.
thank you for that. And if you want to do any other kind of, we're doing the record release. They're doing one in
Australia.
Amsterdam and one, different fans from around. So if you want to be in on the sketch, I'll loop you in happily.
Cool. That would be brilliant. Thanks. Yeah.
Then there
And get
we
it
are.
out there.
Yeah.
Antigua is converted to rock and roll, so let's get some more music out there.
Well, yeah, believe me, this is it's an interesting record. It's and it's funny that you mentioned Pete because there are two songs on this release that John and I wrote for the Who. Pete asked they were going to do an album, and obviously John kind of messed up their plans a little bit. But
By dying.
by dying.
That's just
yeah,
so thoughtless.
well,
They thought,
You have to think of it in another way. He used to say to me, "You're never really famous until you're dead."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think maybe,
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough.
pretty famous now, bud. Pretty famous now. He was a great friend and a great. I mean, that was a gift of a lifetime, and it's got to be kind of similar to being a DJ in Antigua.
Yeah.
It's like wow every day.
Yeah.
Kind of. Kind of. I don't know if it's as much wow as being in the John Entwistle band, but it's fun.
Well,
It's a blast.
it's got to be fun, and I mean, it's got to be fun. I know I enjoy just this format, so it's got to be fun, and the fact that you don't have a playlist, that's got to be
Yeah.
amazing.
You have your own
So-
rules.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't let anybody interfere with what I play.
Oh, I've got music for you, man. I have music for you that I am going to blow your mind. I will send you. I guess we'll end it on this note because this would be fantastic. When I first moved to Florida, I thought, well, that's it. They give you a cigar, you drive a Cadillac, and you die, right? That's I thought here we are at the end of the road. That's going to be it. And then I meet a lot of other musicians my age, my style, my things, thinking the same thing. So I became friends with the bass player in AC/DC who was a neighbor. And I said, Cliff, anytime you want to jam, my singer is in New York. He has a room in my house.
Guitar player.
My guitar player's in New York. He has a room in my house. I'll have him down. We can play anytime. And he said, well, my singer lives in Sarasota, talking about Brian Johnson. Okay.
Sarasota's not that far away
And
from
so
us.
we co-wrote and recorded most of an album, which, how would you like to play some of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to rock Antigua?
You want to rock
Oh,
Antigua?
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be brilliant.
You
Thanks.
said no rules. It's coming at you. Trust me. I give you the whole story behind. I'll send you some Xander stuff too. He probably doesn't listen to Antigua radio.
That would be brilliant. Yeah. That would be
No,
really cool.
I'm very serious. I'm going to send you the. We call it forklift, and the reason for that we didn't have a band name, and the reason we settled on that is Lori came into the studio and she said, what are you guys doing? We said, we're working on music for Cliff. And she said, forklift? So that's,
Yeah.
but no,
Yeah, fair
I'll-
enough. That's a good way of doing it.
yeah, no, it will be fun. That I would love.
And be sure to come in on Friday.
Yeah, come in
same
on
time.
Friday and thank the puppy and the boyfriend for being so patient with us.
Topsy. We don't know the boyfriend's
Yeah, the boyfriend's waiting for dinner.
Yeah, wife is burning dinner, but it's all good. Zoe, thank you for being here. I'll probably talk to you over the next couple of days. I'm going to get you some music without question,
And a shirt.
and life is good.
It's been fun. It's been a blast. Thanks, Steve.
It was great.
Bye,
Thank you
Laura.
for being here.
Bye.
Take care, Zoe.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Speak soon.
What are they laughing at?
All right.
That was
Zoe.
man. And you got to realize too, guys. When I talk to somebody with a very cool British accent, it reminds me of a lot of very good things. So that was a very.
Kind of reminded me of Sheila's.
I was going to say she reminded you
Yeah.
of Sheila.
Yeah.
But
Isn't
you
that
see,
weird?
that's more of the.
And it was Ocean's birthday yesterday.
Oh well,
Which
happy
is
birthday,
Sheila's
Ocean.
daughter.
Sheila's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, she was great.
yeah, fantastic, and I hope she'll come in on
Well,
Friday.
Why wouldn't she? She's a DJ. She likes
That's
to talk
true.
on microphones.
Well, there you go. No, and I'm gonna send her. I'm gonna send her like Blood Alley and
Yeah.
Chain Gang. Oh yeah. Oh girl, I got you
Rock
covered.
Antigua.
And then you guys, the children of the lawn, can enjoy the music
Well,
somewhere other than here.
we don't know how they can though.
No, we'll figure it out. No, you can. I've seen. I mean, I saw the broadcasts stored. So
Okay, but it's not on Sirius XM though.
no, it's not. We'll figure out how you can check it out.
Well,
'cause
she
it's,
said that Lenny and Gabrielle know, but I think Gabrielle might be able to tell us. Lenny might not be able to tell us.
well, depending on the time.
He was sending you Instagram messages thinking he was talking to you on Facebook.
Lenny, I love you, bro.
We love you, Lenny.
We really do. We love you, man. But
Okay, and
Dinner
the children
ca-
of
dinner
the lawn
calls.
loved her, and they
She's
think she should come on Friday.
Zoe Carlton, awesome,
Carlton.
awesome. So yeah, Fridays we'll it'll. God, can you imagine her and Lenny at the same time? Bonus.
Okay.
All right, you guys, we're gonna
Tomorrow
bail.
night, anything goes Wednesday.
Right, anything goes Wednesday, so it's kind of like Zoe's Saturday, only a couple days earlier.
There you go.
There you go. So if I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.
I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do this. There you go.